What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I hope you're doing well. So at this point, you guys should already know what I'm going to say. Get your hands ready. Get your fingers ready. Alright, what I need you to do is go into the kitchen, grab the closest orange that you have, because you know we have this time going on. You got to get that vitamin C, right? Take your hand, shove it in that orange, pull it out, and make sure you clean them off, make sure they're nice and ready to go, because I need you to leave your comments down below letting me know what you think about this subject. Guys, thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you are new here and at any point in the video you believe I deserve it, I would really appreciate a sub. If you do decide to do that, make sure you hit that bell so that you get notified whenever I post a video. Also, make sure you leave a like if at any point you enjoy the conversation that we have today, and also make sure you're following me on Twitter so that you get notified whenever I go live on Twitch or whenever I post a new video. And if you just want funny stuff in your feed. Alright guys, let's get into this. Today's video, why you should not play Monster Hunter World right now. Because if you do, and you enjoy video games, if you enjoy a challenge, you're gonna get addicted. Like, that's just the end of the day. Okay, guys, if you have never played Monster Hunter World before, let me tell you, it is a different experience, right? If you play Dauntless, get it out of your mind. Get it out of your mind, because Dauntless is honestly nothing in comparison to Monster Hunter World, in my opinion. Of course. I mean, that's just what I think. Look, if you guys play Dauntless and you love Dauntless, that's fine. That's fine. Just play what you want to play. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. That's fine. I'm just letting you know what I think. And I think that Monster Hunter World, although it does have a steep learning curve and it takes a little bit of getting used to, that's what I will say. It takes a lot of getting used to. But once you understand the mechanics and once you start getting into the flow of things and you start playing it more often and you start going up against some harder monsters and you start understanding how the game works, you start to enjoy the game a lot more. Okay, now, I actually got into Monster Hunter World a little bit late. I never played any of the original Monster Hunter games, like, you know, the original ones on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 and all that. Like, I've never played the original Monster Hunter games, right? So this is a completely new territory for me, and I was like kind of taken aback when I first started playing it. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff here I don't understand. There's like stuff I can build, but I don't know how to build it. I don't know if I should build it. And then the developers, they created this whole new Defender armor set, and that's when I actually started to play. And I was like, oh, this Defender armor is kind of overpowered. Like, I am just kind of able to go in there and smack monsters and, like, you know, do anything that I want to do, and I don't really have to worry about anything. And that kind of messed up the flow for me in the beginning, especially because at first I was like, this game is easy. This game is easy. But then, once you start getting past the point where the Defender armor is able to protect you from everything, once you start getting closer to the end of the campaign, that's when you start realizing, oh shoot, some of these monsters are actually really hard. Some of these monsters are actually hard to defeat. It's actually kind of difficult. I should probably be careful here. And that's what you start to realize the further you get into the game. And I believe that if you want to get into Monster Hunter, and I really think that you should, if you enjoy a challenge, if you enjoy fighting monsters, if you enjoy having like a bunch of different, I guess, enemy types that you go up against, if you enjoy having that consistent challenge where the enemies are always different and you always feel like you're improving and you can always like grind to get some better gear and get gear that's better suited for a particular fight, and you want to have that evolved, expansive experience, then you're gonna want to play Monster Hunter World. But anyway, if you're gonna get into it, what I would suggest is don't get the Defender armor, even though it's really enticing because it's like a really good armor set and it allows you to blow through the campaign. I would really recommend you not using the Defender set. The reason why is because, as I said before, it kind of causes you to have a little bit of a handicap. it kind of causes you to think, oh, I could just rush into this fight and I could just, do whatever, hit him every once in a while. I'll still get beat up, I'll still get thrown back, but it doesn't matter because, the defender armor will take away half of the damage that the enemy gives me. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're using the regular sets if you can, if you want to experience the game how it's supposed to be played. Because at the end of the day, you're going to start experiencing things once you reach endgame that you weren't experiencing when you were using the defender armor in the beginning of the game. And you're going to be a little bit confused, like, hold up, I wasn't taking this much damage before. Like, I'm a little bit confused here. Like, where did this come from? This is a lot of damage. This is like, I'm actually getting obliterated, right? Okay, yes, that's definitely the case. That is going to be the case if you reach the end game and throughout the entire game you've been using the defender armor. So I would recommend you not use the defender armor if you're gonna get into Monster Hunter, okay? The next thing, you can use the defender weapons because they're actually really strong, and if you don't use a defender weapon, then you're just gonna be hitting enemies for days. But once you reach endgame, you should definitely start looking at some other weapons, especially stuff with higher rarity, and start grinding for those better gear that are better suited for different monsters. Because in this game, the way that it works is you can build different armor pieces, you can build different weapons that are better suited for particular fights. For example, there are certain armor pieces, there are certain weapons that do a particular element damage or defend better against certain element damage. So you don't want to bring an armor piece that is good for electric damage when you're fighting a water monster. That doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Like, you don't want to do that because you're just going to get smacked. You want to bring something that's good against water damage, or something that's good against fire damage, or something that's good against electric damage, or thunder damage, I believe it's called in the game. So that's kind of what you want to do. Now, I know you're going to get into the game and you're going to get smacked. That's just the way that it works. That is literally just a part of the game. You're just going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to get through it. That's the part of learning the mechanics. Another cool thing about this game, though, is the fact that you can have... Well, first of all, there's so many different types of weapons. Like, there's a bunch of different types of weapons. There's a long sword, there's a great sword, there's a charge blade, there's a great axe or switch axe, there's a giant axe, there's a twin blades, there's a sword and shield. Bro, there's a bow, there's a blowgun, like, there's a ton of weapons to choose from, and they all have very distinct fighting styles, and you kind of have to relearn your fighting style if you're going to switch weapons, and that allows you to have a ton of content, right? That allows you to get through the game and always have something new to play, right? If one day you get on the game and you're like, I'm not really feeling the charge blade anymore. By the way, the charge blade is my weapon of choice. You should give it a try. But if one day you're feeling, I don't think I'm going to go with the charge blade today, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try something else. I'm going to use a greatsword. You try the greatsword, you realize, oh, that's kind of booty. It takes a long time to, like, wind up the weapon. It takes a long time to do this, that, and the other. And you're like, okay, I like a faster play style. I don't really care about defense as much. Then you go for the twin blades. The twin blades, you go in, you do the whole charge up thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? You do the yeah thing in the air, and you'll see what I mean if you use the charge blade. You do the charge thing, and then you go into like this devil mode where you're all glowing red, and then you do a flurry of attacks, and this, that, and the other. Like, it's actually really cool what you can do with this game. The immense amount of choice that you have when playing this game. Another really awesome thing is the fact that you can play with other people. It's not cross-platform, and a lot of people are suspecting that it will go cross-platform. People are thinking that it will probably go cross-platform once PS5 / the new Xbox comes out. But as of right now, it is not crossplay, so don't expect to play with your friends on Xbox or PlayStation if you're on PC. That's just not the case right now. But there is still a very active community on all platforms, so you will have plenty of people to play with. Also, if you have friends that play Monster Hunter World, I noticed that a lot of my friends, when they see that I'm playing the game, they're like, oh shoot, you own this game? Hold up, let me play with you sometime. You know what I mean? And then we get into matches together, we fight some monsters, we have some fun. So overall, this game has a lot of content. It has a lot of content, and if you are any way inclined to have fun in a video game and you have $35 to $40 to spend, I would highly suggest that you go ahead and purchase Monster Hunter World. Guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Do you guys play Monster Hunter World? Have you ever played it? Have you considered playing it and you just didn't really like the style, or you weren't really sure if you were going to get into it? Did this video change your mind? Let me know down in the comments. I'm going to be making some more content on this game as the days go forward. I hope you guys will enjoy that. I hope you guys will enjoy this, this little commentary style that I have, because that's going to be probably the content that goes forward when it comes to Monster Hunter World and a lot of other games. Guys, if you are new here, as I said before, and you reach this point in the video, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Also, make sure you hit that bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Also, make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. If you did, and you like me, or you just want to stay in contact with me, make sure you go ahead and click the link down below that takes you to my Twitter. Make sure you follow my Twitter because that's really important. I update you guys on whenever I post a new video, whenever I go live on Twitch, which you should go follow me on there, by the way. Or if you just want funny stuff on your feed, my Twitter is the way to go. So go ahead and do that, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for getting to this point in the video. I'll catch you in the next one.